Honda Cadets then will appear from behind the tyre wall to the right of the camera in a few moments' time. They'll make their way round for their lap, and it will be Alex Lynn, who retired from the opening race of the day with his rear bumper hanging off. He'll be alongside Cameron Tipping with Tom Drake and Ayrton Rye on the second row. Jacob Cartledge and Larry Price on row number 3. Max Grey-Trek starts 7th with Amy Peacock alongside Harry Samuel and Jensen White complete the top 10 with Stanley Clark and Thomas Potter on row 6. Row 7 sees Lewis Hall and Max Housigo. Row 8, Harris Alley and Joshua Sullivan with Jack Collinson and Josh Hushka on row number 9. Harris Roberts starts 19th with Theo Bradshaw alongside Alfie Forrester and James Fabricius are on row 11. Samuel Yeadon starts 23rd alongside Isabella Stansmore Wilson. Then it's Max Williams, Rio Wardali, Freddie Housigo and Ellis Dealey in 28th place. Drivers making their way round then into position here at Llandow. And they will get themselves gridded up. And, for me in this one, Larry Price, who came through from the middle of the pack in the opening heat to run inside the top 4, going off P number 6. As long as he can get round that first complex of corners, he's going to be in with a shout here. But off the front row, the 19 of Tom Drake has been very, very quick in practice and was equally as quick in the opening heat of the day as well. Everybody into position, parent helpers stepping away from our grid here then at Llandow and making their way off to the side. Everybody appears to be in position with our race director just making his way down the grid, getting some fist pumps as well from our drivers. He's going to give a thumbs up to the back. The board is up and the green flag is in the hand of the start line marshal. Engine notes rise, the green flag is down. We're away and racing in Honda Cadet as the middle of the pack all swarm through each other just to try and get into the best position for the hook on the opening lap. Can everybody get through nice and cleanly? The leaders certainly have done. Everybody else still squabbling for positions. Everybody through the hook this time of asking as they now make their run then down towards the double left at Surtees before the right-hander at McWhirther. And then there's Theo Bradshaw to the inside. Sullivan pushed out onto the grass on the outside. He's going to bounce all the way down the outside as Bradshaw comes through down the inside. That's going to drop him a couple of places on this opening lap as the field then single file in through the chicanes. Just count how many it was there. I think now he's behind Harris Roberts. I think it was 6 places lost there by the 13. Alex Lynn, though, still leading the way as they swarm 3 wide down this huge contact to the left-hand side. Jacob Cartledge facing the wrong way. The 22, I think that's Howell. I think let's have a quick check on the 22. We'll figure that one out in a few moments as it's Harry Samuel who was facing the wrong way as well. Number of carts bouncing over the curbs there. There were 3 and 4 wide on entry. They're going to have to sort themselves out. So as the leaders come over the line for the first time, Lynn leads the way then from Cameron Tipping. Ayrton Rye was in 3rd, but now it's Larry Price with Rye down into 4th. Peacock, White, Potter, Grey-Trek, Hall and Harris Alley, your top 10 as they come over the line at the first time of asking. After that, we've got Drake in 11th. He went off the front row, so he's lost a lot of places. Clark, Fabricius, Bradshaw, Collinson, Stansmore, Wilson, Roberts, Hushka, Samuel and Sullivan then in the top 20 over the line. Now, Larry Price is up into 2nd place behind Alex Lynn. Now looks to go to the inside as well. Price is through, then down into the left-hander at Surtees. Lynn has to drop back into 2nd place, Tipping in 4th, Rye in 5th. Peacock is up into 5th place. Potter then behind the green cart in 6th, in front of Jensen White and Max Grey-Trek. There's a gap though between Grey-Trek, so that's why he gives a little helmet tap back to Lewis Hall and Harris Alley because he wants to push along to try and close up the gap on those in front. As Larry Price has opened the gap up down that back straight from Alex Lynn. They're 2 and 3 wide and Ayrton Rye comes to the inside to try and defend off Amy Peacock. Peacock then slots out, and Thomas Potter up the back of Amy Peacock. That's going to lose him a place at the very least to Jensen White as he loses traction on the way out. White then should have track position, certainly over start finish, and does, although now drops another, although he's dropped a place then behind Potter and potentially Max Greatrex as well. Just couldn't get alongside. Potter goes to the outside into the corner to maximise the run through there. Still out at the front though. It's Larry Price leading the way. Jacob Cartledge, 28, he's shown now as being in the pit lane. After that spin, and he was involved in that incident with a number of karts on the opening lap. Leader though, Larry Price, has a gap of around about a second as White looks over his shoulder trying to defend off from Lewis Hall, who then moves on to back onto the racing line where he finds Harris Ali on the outside. They're still chopping and changing for positions further down the field as well. They're all very, very tight from, well, let's say from third place all the way down really to 20th. There's not much between any of them, as now we see Potter down the inside of Ayrton Rye. Max Greatrex then will try and take advantage as well. There's 2 and 3 wide in the background. So they make their way towards the right-hander down there at Chandler's. Cameron Tipping all over the back of Alex Lynn as they head down onto the hanger straight. Now Amy Peacock comes to the inside of Cameron Tipping, gets the head down behind the steering wheel. We need to be brave on the brakes, but slots back in as the rest of the field make their way through. It's all nose to tail all the way back, I think, down to around about 18th place in this tight Llandow circuit. Peacock will try and get to the inside of Tipping down there at Surtees. She is through, and can Tipping now hold on from Thomas Potter. Potter's down the inside then as Tipping tries to take a wider line to get the cut back on Peacock, and both Peacock and Thomas Potter are through. That moves them up into 3rd and 4th place respectively. You can then see Alex Lynn still leading the train from 2nd place all the way down the rest of the field. Peacock with a look over the shoulder. Lynn to the outside. Will Peacock be hard enough on the brakes to the inside of Alex Lynn? She is through. Thomas Potter as well takes advantage and even almost gets alongside. There's a warning flag out over start finish. Not sure who that's for, as the 19 of Tom Drake is off and dropping all the way down the order. So all of our runners from, looks like Harris Roberts in 11th, move up 2 places. So looks like that's where Drake was at the time of where that incident happened. Lewis Hall's dropped 1 place. So Harris Roberts and Jack Collinson make up 2 places. Then everybody else behind makes up a place. The train make their way through. Now with Amy Peacock and Thomas Potter leading the way, and look at the gaggle of karts all the way down that back straight. I think it goes all the way down to Isabella Stansmore-Wilson, who will cross the line in 16th place in her battle with Stanley Clark and Joshua Sullivan. They are around about 1.2 seconds off the back of Lewis Hall and Harris Ali, so they need to sort of work together to close that up, because in front of them there is a huge battle going on, which now sees Thomas Potter up into 2nd place, Peacock in 3rd, but the whole train, none of them at all really working together. There's a huge battle going on, and almost everybody's got a pair that they're overtaking, chopping and changing, because in front of them, Larry Price has just disappeared into a race of his own, really, with 3 seconds the gap. You see them now all appearing down the back straight this time. They just need to push each other, as now Collinson down the inside of Harris Roberts and then outbrakes himself, and Roberts is back through. Let's see whether anybody else can take advantage of Collinson as well there, as Tom Drake is now, as you see at the bottom, classified as out of the race and 2 laps down. And we saw hit the 19 kart parked up on the outside. The field then streaming through, still overtake after overtake, as it looks like Fabricius has managed to find the way past Alex Lynn for 4th place. And he has. Lynn slots back in, running comfortably then in 5th. There's a bit of a gap back to Greatrex and Jensen White in front of Cameron Tipping, Theo Bradshaw and Harris Roberts to complete the top 10. There's top 10 that Collinson went for on the previous lap and outbraked himself and would have crossed the line, I think, in 11th place with Ayrton Rye just behind. There it is on the screen, the confirmation still all nose to tail. And Sullivan, Clark and Stansmore Wilson have all worked together to close up. Behind them, that's Rio Wardali trying to go down the inside, I think, of the 55 of Jos Huska, is it? I think it is. 2 minutes remaining then. Fastest lap of the race goes to Harris Roberts with a 50.781. It's still 2/10 slower than the lap times we were going at earlier on in the race. And Larry Price out at the front though. He's still going at sub 51, but maybe just doesn't need to be taking a huge amount out of the tyres, so he's just easing it off, you know, braking a kart length earlier into each of the corners, because you don't need to be going too hard into there when it's only the second heat of the day, and those tyres have got another heat and a final to do as the field streams single file. Greytrex gets a good run down the back straight there. You've got trying to block off Harris Roberts. Down the back straight, Stanley Clark's going to come to the inside of Joshua Sullivan in the background, and he's through down the inside in the 51. In front of them though, Thomas Potter and Amy Peacock coming under pressure now from James Fabricius in the 91. Minute and 10 remaining, and Fabricius here is going to try and go down the inside, I think, of Peacock. Potter, very, very defensive from Amy Peacock, and that's going to allow Fabricius to come through into what is now third place, and then he carries a little bit too much speed into that corner and loses a place. Not a place, but loses some time by running into the back of Thomas Potter. 56 seconds remaining in this second heat of the day. The top 10, Price, Peacock and Potter, the top three, or as it were, but now we've got Fabricius trying to dive down the inside of Thomas Potter. Potter goes slightly wide, and Amy Peacock from fourth place will come through for second, takes full advantage of Potter going in too hot into the Raymond's hairpin. She is through from fourth into second. Potter then down into third, Fabricius fourth, Roberts up into fifth place, and right on the back of this in front of Alex Lynn, Max Greytrex, Jensen White, Theo Bradshaw, Jack Collinson. Then we've got Ali, Tipping, Hall, Clark and Sullivan to complete the top 15. Lap time is elapsing at the top. It will be the last lap board next time they come round here then in Honda Cadet, the final race of the morning before we go to the lunch break. As we see there in the background, Fabricius looks like he's having to defend from Harris Roberts as well. Out at the front though, Larry Price. Down the back straight, you just saw his helmet flicking through. Now Potter's coming to the inside of Amy Peacock. Peacock's going to try and run very, very tight and closes the door on him. They're going to be three wide over start finish. This contact as Potter runs into the back of Amy Peacock. Fabricius is through, and Harris Roberts too could be through as well. No, Potter manages to close the door. Damage limitation for the 20, but he drops from what could have been second place down into fourth. Peacock then holding firm in third place, in second place, having run comfortably around that corner, carries loads of speed, enough that she can just get a good run. Everybody else there running through now in the background. We see the train all the way down to 15th place coming through. Fabricius is now in front of Amy Peacock. Not quite sure where that happened, but it must have been down at Chandler's. Down the back straight though, comes our race leader, Larry Price, got into the lead and disappeared off into the distance to take the checkered flag. They're still arguing over tarmac down the bottom end of the track, and Roberts and Potter are going to be side by side. Fabricius gets second place from Peacock. Then it looks like it could have been Roberts from Potter, but we'll confirm that when the timing updates in a few moments' time. Larry Price gets the checker though for the victory. Then we've got Fabricius, Peacock, Roberts, Potter, Alex Lynn, a superb sixth in front of Jack Collinson, Max Greytrex, Harris Alley and Lewis Hall. After that, Theo Bradshaw in 11th, Stanley Clark 12th, Sullivan gets 13th in front of Tipping, with Stansmore Wilson in 15th place. Ayrton Rye, Jensen White, Jos Huska, Rio Wardley and Harry Samuel complete your top 20 here at Llandow.